Okay, we're on day 33, and this is part B because we ran out of room on part A at time. It became too big, so we're going to do the second part here, and we are picking it up on the B exercise. Factor each expression. Now, what we were doing previously is we were starting with two polynomials and multiplying them together to get a quadratic formula with x squared. On part B, we're going to start with the quadratic formula and we're going to factor it so to break it into two polynomials which are multiplied together. And each polynomial will have an x, which when multiplied together makes the x squared. So we're going to start with number 16. It says x squared plus 4x plus 3. X squared plus 4x plus 3. Okay, I wrote that over here. This is number 16. Okay, let me turn it a little. Okay, so we want to break it down so that we have two polynomials multiplied together. So first I set up my parentheses for my polynomials. Okay? And I want to get x squared, so I'm going to put an x in one and an x in the other. When they're multiplied together, they're going to give me x squared. Now I also want to end up with 3, so I have to have two numbers multiplied together and make 3. Well, there's only two numbers that you can multiply together to make 3. There's 1 and 3. There's no other way to get 3. And it's going to be positive. Now these could be both minus, but if they're both minus, we're going to end up with minus 3x and we're going to end up with minus 4x. We want positive 4x, so we're going to make both of these positive. Does that work? Let's see. X times x. This is the answer, but let's check. X times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. Now I do the 1. 1 times x is x. 1x, but we just put an x. 1 times 3 is 3. X squared. 3x and 1x is 4x. Plus 3. There we go. We're back to where we started. That's the same as that. So that was the correct answer. Okay? Now, why are we learning how to do this? Because you will have problems later that you have to solve to find out what the x is. So you might have a problem where this is equal to 0. And if you can take this and break it down to two polynomials multiplied together equals 0, then you know that either this is 0 or this is 0. For this to be 0, x is negative 1. For this to be 0, x would be negative 3, because negative 3 and 3 is 0. That means negative 1 and negative 3 would work in this equation. If you put them in, they equal this part equals 0. So we're learning how to do this because later we will be solving equations that have that equal to 0. Okay, number 17. I'm going to copy from your paper. I'm having my breakfast cereal, so I might sound a little weird. Weirder than usual. X squared plus 4x. This is like the last one. But this time it says minus 5. How do we do this? Well, again, we set it up. Can you see this well enough? Maybe I should make it a little bit bigger. Here, hold on. I'll try to make it bigger. It's not going in good. Let me try again. I don't know why this isn't working here. Hold on. Okay. That's a little bit bigger. Okay. x squared plus 4x minus 5. So again, I set them up. A polynomial times another polynomial. I'm going to start out with x. And how can you get 5? The only way you can get 5 is 5 and 1. Now, this time we want minus 5. That tells me that 1 is going to be plus and 1 is going to be minus. Because we want 5 times 1 to be minus 5, so one of them has to be plus and one has to be minus. Where do we put the plus? Where do we put the minus? Well, we want to end up with positive 4x. So we want the positive to have the bigger one. So we'll put the positive with the 5 and the negative with the 1. That'll give us x squared. It'll get us minus 5. It'll give us 5x, and it'll give us x times minus 1 minus x. 5x minus x is 4x, so that'll work. Okay? You could multiply it out and check and see if it works, but I'm telling you, it's going to work. Let's see, which one next? Let's skip and do number 20. I'm trying to pick ones which work out a little differently. X squared plus 5x minus 14. So again, I set up my polynomials. I'm going to start with x, because x times x is x squared. How do we get 14? Do you know your multiplications? 7 times 2 is the only one I can think of. And again, it's minus 14. That means one's going to be minus, one's going to be plus, and we want to end up with 5 x's. If I make this minus, it'll be minus 7x. This will be plus 2x. Minus 7x plus 2x is minus 5x. We don't want it to be minus. We want the big one to be plus. So the 7 is going to get the plus, and the 2 is going to get the minus. That'll give us x squared. It'll give us minus 14. It'll give us 7x and minus 2x. 7x minus 2x is 5x. So that works. Okay, I'm going to jump to one a little different because I want to show you what happens when it's not just x squared. I'm going to jump to number 27. Okay? 27 says 2x squared minus 8x minus 10. Now this is a little different because we have 2x squared. So that means when I set them up, guess what? One of them has to be 2x, and the other one's just x. Because when I multiply those together, I'm going to get 2x squared. Okay? I want to get 10. You know, I could do 10 and 1, or I can do 5 and 2. I'm going to try 5 and 2. Now, one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. So they're going to work against each other. Let's say I put the 5 here and made it, I want to end up with negative 8x, so I'll make it negative 5. If this is a negative 5 here, I'll get negative 5x, and then the 2 will have to be over here. And I'll get 2, positive 2 times 2 is 4. And I'll end up with negative 5x and positive 4x. That'll be negative 1x. That won't give me negative 8. How about if I put the 5 here? 5 times 2x is going to give me 10x. And I'll want the minus 5. So that'll give me minus 10x. That means this has to be positive 2. Because 2 times 5 is 10. And 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So we're going to end up with minus 10x, but positive 2x. Minus 10x and positive 2x is minus 8x. This is going to work. Let's just try it out to see. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times minus 5 is minus 10x. 2 times x is plus 2x. And 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Then we put the minus 10x and the positive 2x together. We get minus 8x minus 10. There we go. It worked. Okay, now we're going to do number 29, because that's got a 4 this time. 4x squared plus 4x minus 3. 29. 4x squared, again, you could be trying these on your own, plus 4x minus 3. Okay? So I want to set up my polynomials. Now here's a problem. I could have 4x and x. 4x times x is 4x squared, right? Or I could have 2x times 2x. I guess you can fool around. If I had a pencil, I'd do it with a pencil, because then I could erase. If I do 4x and x, and then I got 3, I don't know how I'm going to end up with positive 4. If I go 3 times 4, I'll end up with 12x. That's going to be too big. If I go 3 times 1, I'll have 3 and 4. That's going to be too small. Again, number 1 is going to be positive, and 1 is going to be negative. So let's try the 2's. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Now, it doesn't matter where I put the 3 and where I put the 1, because these are both 2x. So I'm going to put the 3 and the 1. Now, 1's going to be positive, 1's going to be negative, and I want to end up with positive. So we'll give the 3 the positive. Let's see if this works. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times minus 1 is minus 2x. 3 times 2x is plus 6x. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. Remember, at any point in the video, you should be pausing it to try any part you want to try on your own. Like before I did this, you should have paused it and tried it on your own, see if you could get it. Okay, 4x squared, you got minus 2x plus 6x plus 4x minus 3. That's where we started. See, it worked. Really, the whole idea is for you to be able to do these on your own, because, of course, on the test, you're going to be on your own. So always, even if it's just at the very end, stop it just before I get to the end and see if you can finish it. If you can do it, you'll build up your confidence that you'll be able to do the whole problem on your own. Okay, we're going to go down to the word problems now. Now, it's interesting, this lesson, because they did all this work but did not explain at all how we use it to solve equations. And then they throw a problem at you that they ask you to solve. That's kind of silly. Now, you could actually do this without solving the equation. You could actually do it another way, the cheating way, but I'll show you. For which of the following equations is negative 4 a solution? I'm on the wrong one. Okay. What are the two solutions for the equation x squared minus x equals 20? Now, these two have a 4 and a 5. These two have a 10 and a 2. What you could do is you could just try one. Let's try 10. Let's see if 10 works. What's 10 squared? 100. Minus 10 is 90. Well, 10 doesn't work, so that one's out. How about if you use minus 10? Minus 10 squared is also 100, because a negative times a negative is a positive. but you're going to be minus a minus 10, so you're going to be plus 10. That's not going to be 20, that's going to be 110. So these two are definitely out. Okay? What number you want to try? Let's try 5. What is 5 squared? 25 minus 5 is 20. This one works. Now, negative 5, if you square that, that's also 25. But when you go minus a minus 5, it's the same as plus 5. So 25 plus 5 is 30. This one does not work. So here we found the right answer without solving the equation. We didn't solve the equation, we found the right answer. Because we just tried the answers and we found out which one worked. I call it cheating because you're not doing the math they want you to. But of course on the test, the whole idea is to pass. And if you're smart enough to figure out a different way to do it, why not? Use the fact that they give you multiple choice to try and find the right answer. I tried this one, 10s did not work. So then I went to the 5 and the 5 worked. So this A has to be the right answer. Now how would I solve it? Well, let me look at it. X squared, this is number 31. Okay, it says x squared minus x equals 20. X squared minus x equals 20. Now we haven't done these kind of equations. To solve them, how do you solve them? So I'm going to show you. You change it to a quadratic, all on one side equal to 0. Now we want to get rid of the 20. We want to make this 0 on this side, so we subtract 20. That means we subtract 20 on this side. It's like we're moving the 20 to this side, but when you move a 20, you have to subtract it. Equals 0. Okay? Now, this is a quadratic equation equal to 0, so we want to set it up like we did in the last exercise, but it's equal to 0. If we can do that, then we know if this is 0, it's a good answer, or if this side is 0, because 0 times a number is 0. Okay, so I'm going to put an x and an x, and I want to get 20. I could do 10 and 2, but one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative, which means I'm going to subtract them. 10 take away 2 is 8. I want 1x. So I'm going to do 5 and 4. And I want it to be minus 1x, so I'm going to give the 5 the minus and the 4 the plus. Now you can see, I'll get x squared, I'll get minus 20, I'll get minus 5x and plus 4x. Minus 5x plus 4x is minus 1x. So this works. Now this is equal to 0. This times this is equal to 0. When is this equal to 0? When this is 0 or when this is 0. When is x minus 5 equal to 0? When x is 5. When is x plus 4 equal to 0? If x is negative 4, because negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So there's your two answers. If x is 5, it's 0. If x is negative 4. And that was A. That was choice A on your multiple choice. So that's if you know how to solve it and if you can take the time to solve it. But of course, the other way to do it is just try the answer and find the one that works. The cheating way. Okay, number 32. How much time are we, by the way? 19 minutes. We have a whole nother page. I don't know how we're going to do it. Which of the following equations is x equal negative 4 solution? Well, you can try solving all 4 equations. That is going to take some time. The easiest way to do this is just to cheat. The cheater way. Take negative 4 and put it in each equation. Negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 16, we're going to have a very big number, way bigger than 8. So this one's not going to work because we want this to be 8, so it's 8 minus 8 is 0. And this is already way too big. How about here? Negative 4 squared is 16. I'm going to write this one here, B. Number 32. Let me see, can you see it? So I'm going to try negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32, but it's minus a negative 32, so we're going to add 32. And then we're going to add 64. That's not going to be 0. It's going to be a big number. They're all positive, so forget that. Okay, let's try this one. Negative 4 squared is 16. Minus 2 times negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So you have minus negative 8 is plus 8. That's going to be in the 20s, and you're going to subtract 15. That don't work either. It's got to be this one on the end. Now I can do something to make this simpler. They all got even numbers. I could divide by 2 because 0 divided by 2 is still 0. I could change this right away and make it a little simpler by dividing by 2. Okay? But you don't have to. If you don't divide by 2, you can still do it. It's just bigger numbers. Okay, negative 4 squared is 16 times 2 is 32. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. 32 minus 8 is 24. And then I got, look, minus 24. This one works. By the way, if I had divided by 2, I would have been x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. 16 minus 4 is 12. Minus 12 is 0. Yes, D works. I did it by trying negative 4. I did not try solving all 4 of those equations. That would have taken quite a while. Some of them I think you can't even solve that easily. Because they don't. You can already solve quadratic formulas with what we know. Okay. What is the only positive solution for the equation? Well, you can solve this one, or you can just try the numbers and see if they work. Well, these are kind of bigger numbers, so you have to work with big numbers, right? I could try the 5, but why don't we try solving the equation this time? You could try plugging these in if you had a calculator, but you're going to be doing 6 squared, 36 times 2. So you're getting kind of big numbers. 7 squared is even bigger, 49 times 2. 8 squared is 64 times 2. So you have to work with big numbers. Let's see if we can do it by solving. So I got 2x squared. So I'm going to set it up like this. And one of them is going to be 2x, and one's going to be x. And then you have 30. 30 could be 3 and 10, or it could be 6 and 5. Let's see if 6 and 5 is going to work. Yeah, I think 6 and 5 is going to work. If I put the 5 here, I'm going to end up with 10x and then 6x. 10 and 6, if you subtract them, you get 4. That doesn't work. But if I put the 6 here and the 5 here, that's going to make 30, right? And I want to end up with minus. So I'm going to put this with the minus 6. This will give me 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 12x plus 5x. Minus 6x plus 5x. So minus 6 times 2x is 12, is minus 12x. And this is going to be 5x. 12 minus 5 is 7. This one works, right? Now the question is, what is the only positive solution? This solution is going to be negative because you add it to 5, you get 0. Remember, you're setting this equal to 0. So that means if this is 0, it works. This would have to be a negative number for this to be 0 because you got 5 you're adding to. This has to be negative 5, so that's going to be negative 2.5. But over here, when is this 0? When x is 6. If x is 6, this is 0. And there's our answer, B, when x is 6. We did it by setting this equal to 0 and factoring it into two polynomials. When this is 0, x is 6, this is 0, and it makes the whole thing 0. Okay, onward. Number 34. I can't fit it in here. Hold on. How's that? The area of a rectangle is found by multiplying the length and by the width. In the rectangle below, the area of the rectangle is equal to the expression blah, blah, blah. What would that side be? This looks really hard, doesn't it? But it's actually not that hard. You multiply the length times the width to get the area. And they're telling you the area is that. So we're going to do this like this. Number 34. We want the length. We don't know what it is, but we're going to put this. We don't know what this polynomial is. I mean, that's the width. The length, though, is 2x minus 7. No, you don't even see where I am. Okay, here I am, 34. There's the width. I just put a blank. And here's the length, 2x minus 7. And when you multiply it together, it tells you the area is 2x squared minus 27x plus 70. Okay? You want to get 2x squared. 2x times what is 2x squared? What do you need? An x. 2x times x is 2x squared. What do we want at the end? 70. We got a 7. 7 times what is 70? 7 times 10. And we want it to be positive 70. And this is negative, so that means this has to be a negative also, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Does this work? Let's see. We get 2x squared. You get minus 7x. You get 10 times 2 is 20, but it's also minus 20x. And minus 10 times minus 7 is plus 70. That makes 2x squared. Oh man, you're not seeing this. I'll show that again. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times minus 7 minus 7x. Minus 10 times 2x is minus 20x. Minus 10 times minus 7 is plus 70. That gives us 2x squared. You got minus 20 and minus 7. That's minus 27x. Plus 70. And that's it. Is that the right thing? Yeah, there it is over there. It came out. So here's the missing width, x minus 10, because x minus 10 times that is that. Okay? Oh, that was all. That was it. There it is. B. B is the answer. X minus 10. Okay. All we did was set it up like we did these problems, and you find the answer just by looking what's left. We're up to 28 minutes. I don't know when we're going to do this one. All these. These are not that bad. I think I'll do one more video to do this one. Okay? So then I'll do a part C. So for now we're going to stop. And then you can do these. These are not, the interesting thing about this page, I'm not sure why they put it in. I don't think it has that much to do with quadratics. Maybe there's a few quadratics in here. But it's a good review. It's word problems, and that's what you want practice with. Try these out with my next video. Try them on your own, and then check the solutions. Okay, see you in a bit.